Hey guys, it's Bailey from Making Up the Midwest, and this video is going to be all about my top 10 e.l.f. or Eyes, Lips, Face Cosmetics favorites. This was requested a long time ago, and I'm super sorry for just not getting to it, but I finally am. I believe at the time I had just gotten a new batch I just hauled a bunch of e.l.f. products, so I wanted to give those a try before I started compiling my top 10, and now that I've had ample time to put the top 10 together, here they are. So let's get started. First products are the e.l.f. Radiance Enhancers, although this counts as one in the top 10. And these are in no particular order, by the way. Radiance Enhancers are basically highlighters. They're a pen highlighter. Here I have Golden and Sunrise. Contrary to how Sunrise sounds, it's actually a pink with kind of flecks of gold in it. Both are gorgeous. The one downside to these that some might find is that the shimmer is chunkier. It's not super fine like you might find in a powder, but I don't think they're that noticeable. Really mature skin might want to steer clear of these, but besides that, I think these are great. I really love the applicators. It's something very unique and something good to do on the go. Just dab it directly on and then blot out with your finger. It's a pretty foolproof kind of thing, but beware because they are very pigmented. A little of these goes a long way. Next product. Bronzer. I have been using the e.l.f. This is their studio, just says Golden Bronzer, and I'm sure everyone will know about these. It's the quad where you get multiple shades. There's a really light, and I just find this is a great overall bronzer because it's not too shimmery, although it is kind of shimmery, so some might find it a little too shimmery to be a contour, but I really like it. Because it has these 4 different shades, it's suitable. It suits me for multiple different seasons. All 4 of them to be exact. And the great thing about these is since I purchased this, which was probably over a year ago, it's shameful, but I'm the only one who uses it, so I'm giving myself a pass. They have come out with a few different shades, so if this looks too light or too dark, go check the website because chances are they have come out with another one in a different shade. They also have setting powders in this similar format, but they're like those pastel pink and purple and green, whatever. So go check the website because there are a ton new shades in each of these, and for $3, this is just a really great bronzer, and it lasts for ages. It's been there for a long time. So, favorite. Since we've covered the contour slash bronzer, I think the natural follow-up to that is blush. And for the blush, I have chosen the Cream Blush, which is a very misleading name because it's actually more of a mousse texture. And at first, I did not like these. I'm going to be really honest, but I think it's because I didn't know how to apply them properly. Fingers are fine. It does take there's a little bit of a learning curve if you want to apply these with fingers, but that's totally cool if you do. I mean, the texture is, like I said, different, but it's doable. The way I really like to apply this is actually with another product that made the top 10, and that is the e.l.f. stippling brush. This is a small stippling brush to be precise, and it's great because it fits directly in this blush. Great to stipple it on. It's perfect to blend it out. In fact, these two together are kind of a dream team duo. But yeah, this comes in a lot of different shades. This one is Sweetheart, I believe. Nope, Heartbreaker is this shade. But there are a lot of different shades within this cream blush line, and they're very bold, so I think they're great for both light and dark skin tones. They cater to both of those really nicely. This is $6, but I have to say you get a lot of product. I've had this for over a year at this point, and just not a dent. Well, I mean, there's a dent. You know what I'm saying. I just haven't run out. It's a lot of product for $6, which is a bargain. Since we moved on to brushes since then, I want to talk about another top 10. That's the small tapered brush, which I believe is a relatively new fixture in the studio line of brushes. So it's $3, as well as the last brush that I mentioned that's also $3. The reason I love this is because it is so similar to the Samantha Chapman contour brush. I mean, they're not exactly, but they're very nice. And even though this is an affordable brush, I believe you can only get it in a 5-pack for $17, which, like I said, is affordable. But if you don't want all those brushes, this is a $3 alternative that does almost exactly the same thing. And it's just perfect for contour, really getting in there and contouring, doing your nose. I mean, it's fabulous, and I really love this brush, and at $3, it's unstoppable. Let's knock this one out because it's super fast. The eyebrow gel. In fact, it's called Wet Gloss Lash and Brow Clear Mascara. In reality, I only ever use it as a brow gel, and it's $1, and it's just brilliant to set brows, keeps them set all day. I can't live without it. So yeah, that's that. The last product before I move on to eyes is the Maximum Coverage Concealer, and this is an oil-free concealer from the Studio line, so $3. Again, my shade is Porcelain, and I was shocked that I liked this concealer so much because I have tried other face kind of products like foundations, and they've just been so hit or miss with me. I used their tinted moisturizer for the longest time, but it's not a year-round staple for me, and the smell was a little weird. I don't know if anybody else encountered that, but the smell was just a little off-putting. I found the Maximum, or the full kind of fuller coverage foundation that they have in their glass bottle, also didn't do too much for me, but I stumbled across this Maximum Coverage Concealer and really like it. It's not super heavy. I mean, it's not completely full coverage. There are some days when I have super dark pigmentation under my eyes that it just won't fix, but then again, few things can. But even still, this is really good at camouflaging under eye circles as well as blemishes. The consistency is just such that it's not so thick that it's going to really cake up around blemishes, but it's not so thin that it's just going to melt away from your under eye. So I find that this is a great concealer for both under eyes and blemishes, and for that, it's a winner for me. Now on to the eyes. A longtime favorite for the eyes for me has been their liquid liner, most specifically in black. It's their basic black $1 essential liquid eyeliner. It's just, I can't. They actually, probably about a year ago, came out with new brushes, and rather than having hard felt tips, came out with this slightly, well actually longer, more flexible tip, which was just set me over the top because then it became the perfect liner. Now, it's not waterproof, it's not your Urban Decay 24/7 liquid liner by any means, but it's a really great liner. I mean, I tend to have watery eyes in the winter, and I notice that I can do this wiping thing that I do all the time, and it stays pretty well in place. You know, I can blot it, it doesn't move. It's pretty steadfast, despite not really being waterproof, and it's only $1. So I think it's great for that, as well as it has, there's a glitter liner as well as the silver. In fact, I got the glitter, the silver, and the black in a holiday kit thing, and I believe that was $2 or $3. I'm assuming it's just cheap. Rock bottom cheap. You can't beat it, especially considering the quality you're given. So I really like these. On to eyeshadows. Eyeshadows was a tricky category for me because there are a ton that I've tried and a ton that I haven't. e.l.f. has since come out with quite a few, I believe, baked eyeshadow singles as well as glittery eyeshadows in the essential line. I'm not even sure at this point because it's been a while since I've checked out their site. Regardless, I know there are some I haven't tried, so it was really hard to narrow down the eyeshadow choice. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you my selections. The first one is the Eye Transformer palette, and this might not be for everyone, but the more I got to think about it, the more I thought there's no way this shouldn't end up in the top 10 because it dupes so many higher end products. So to tell you about this palette, first off, the Eyeshadow Transformer palette, you get 4 shades here, which probably look very unassuming to you because of the camera and the color and all that stuff, but what they actually are these, they're kind of like MAC Reflex pigments in that they look white and frosty, have a kind of sheen to them in the pan, but then you get them on your finger and the color, the pigment really starts to come out more, and then you put them over something dark like a black bean jumbo pencil by NYX or something to that effect, and the duochrome in them just shines. I mean, it's unbelievable. And the reason I chose these, because they are such a unique product, they're not necessarily universal, but they dupe these Naked Cosmetics, this, I think it's the Ivory stack, which it's obviously you get more colors in this stack, but the same concept is there, and obviously these are more creamy, a little bit more pigmented, but like I said, same concept, except this is a $3 or $5 palette, I'm not entirely sure, and it's just such a unique concept for what I consider to be a budget, well, I think everyone considers them to be a budget brand, let's get real, so unique concept from them, and I just think that if you have been looking at blogs or makeup art, you know, whatever, and you've been coveting something like this, or even in the newest Urban Decay Glinda palette, there's those two, the split palette, it's similar to that as well. If you've been coveting those things, this is a much cheaper but equally as effective way to go. For the record, this baked eyeshadow palette came in just a smidgen behind that eyeshadow palette that I just mentioned. One, because it's more universal. I mean, it's filled with colors that people are probably more inclined to wear on a day-to-day basis. But its downfall was that the colors don't function well dry for me. I just found them to be kind of powdery and not smooth. They didn't apply very smoothly, but applied wet, it's stellar. But it just kind of bothered me that you couldn't just let them be. You couldn't just stick a brush in it, apply it, and go. You know, you needed to add that extra step, and that's what kind of deterred me from adding this. But if you want to see a review and swatches of this on the blog, it's there, and I do recommend it. It just didn't necessarily make my top 10 because of the extra effort you had to put in. So, honorable mention, but not top 10. e.l.f. also makes loose pigment, which I think is great because again, it's kind of duping this higher end or specialty product niche. And so this one is in the shade Golden Goddess. It's a bronze shade, but they apply really smoothly. They're not the smoothest pigments you'll ever find, but again, considering this was probably excuse you. Considering this is probably $3 for this pigment, it's a really good buy, especially considering the color payoff and the lasting time. Obviously you have to wear it over a primer, but you can foil them. They just have they're more versatile. Last product are their cream shadows. This is in the shade Teal Party. It's a gorgeous light teal with gold lace all in and out of it. And then this is, there is no color on it, but it's a bronze shade. It's like a general kind of bronze. I'll put swatches in here, I'm sure. Basically with these, I find they're really great color bases. They're not necessarily crease proof. On me, I find they work relatively well without creasing in the winter. I haven't tested these a while in the summer, but I was actually trying a few of these out, or I have been for the past few weeks, and I found that I can wear them crease-free, under eyeshadows alone, whatever. They're really nice, but they don't necessarily dry down as concretely as, say, Maybelline's color tattoos. Still, they are very similar and act really well as color bases, and I find that they stay sticky for a little bit longer, so it's actually better for packing shadows on top of. Still, at $3 a pot, they are cheaper than any kind of color base primer in the drugstore I've ever found. So to me, that made them top 10 worthy. And they're pigmented and smooth and creamy and all that good stuff, so worthy. And those are my top 10 e.l.f. products. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that as much as I enjoyed gathering them all up. Like I said, maybe I didn't say this before at the beginning of the video, I'd love it if you guys commented below letting me know if you enjoyed videos like this and whether you'd like to see more with different brands or with different products like top 10 foundations or top 10, I don't know, mascara, something like that. I don't know. You let me know in the comments and we'll see what we can do. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe there, right there if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!